Alright guys, I am going to show you guys how I run comps on a subject property to find out the value and if a deal is good for you. We were looking at a deal from RMS wholesaler here in Phoenix. Property address is 3216 East Hillary Drive. Um, so this is how I do it. I kind of get a good brief. They usually send you over a packet like this. Um, kind of take a look. It looks like just any other outdated house that needs to be brought up to newer standards, need new kitchen, new bathrooms, need new flooring, new paint. Um, don't see anything too structural. Looks like it has a pool here. So I'll show you how I kind of run things and how I kind of look at the numbers. They show you their comps. Um, I don't really go off their comps. One thing is with any wholesaler, they're gonna sometimes their comps might be right. Sometimes they'll be pulling comps from further away that aren't really accurate. So it's always good to do your own due diligence and run the comps yourself. I like to run comps really in definition to where the property is at. I'm not going to pull comps from less than maybe like half a mile from the subject property. So we got this property is say square footage. Let's look here. I have a couple different screens open. One, I'm gonna have Google open because I want to see exactly where this property is. It looks like we're off Greenway Road and 32nd Street on the south side of it. So I want to run comps in this area between 32nd Street to 40th Street in this square between Greenway and Thunderbird. And I really want to find comps in this area right here because I don't know what's on the other side of the 51. It's a huge thing, so I'm going to be looking at comps actually probably from 28th Street to 33rd Place over here. So I got this pulled up just to see where I'm at because I'm going to go into this property. On the Zillow listing, we got 1645 square foot. Um, I never go off this estimate, so don't go off that. I'm going to go off that. 1645. I'm going to close this out now, and I'm going to show you why I'm going to do that. I'm going to close out there. I'm going to create a filter. Right now I already have this filter in here. I want to go to filters that's sold, and I want to go this other filter up here more. I want it sold in the last 6 months. Sometimes I'll even go 3 months, depending on how the market's been over the last period of time. So I'm going to scroll in. I'm using this as a guideline. 32nd Street, like I said, we're on 32nd Street, just south of Greenway. So we're right in this area. So this is the side I wanted to stay on, close to 51. Stuff that sold in the last 6 months. I know 32nd Street is a major street, so I'm gonna try to stay away from that side of the street as well. As you see, some comps for 580, 535, 550. Don't want to use those comps, so unless I really have to. So we're on Hillary. So if we look here, we're about somewhere in this area right here. There's some interesting things going on in this property. We have a range from 185,000 to 640,000. So my first initiative is look at the 640,000, see what's going on with that. So let's pull this up. We have a $640,000 comp. We at 2,500 square foot. That's the first thing I'm looking at. It's 1,000 square foot bigger. So you could also look down here, just using Zillow. It gives you a price per square foot that it's sold for, $253 a square foot. So if we do some math here, um, even if we're at 253 a square foot, what was our Hillary property? It was like 1,600 square foot or just under. It's a $404,000 price at per square foot. Not everything though is going to be based off per square footage. So let's take a look to see if they actually did anything on this property. So it is a big property, older remodel. You can go through the pictures here. This is probably a early 2000s remodel. Nothing fancy. It's all older tile forms, older colors. Um, Kitchen's probably done in 2010. If I were to guesstimate correctly, you can see there's dings and scratches on the kitchen. Um, Not in today's modern look, so not really. I'm not going to treat this as an actual remodel. It's based on square footage. It's an older home, so I'm going to close out of this. This doesn't really hit my comp. So let's take a look at this 489 on Nisbet. This one sold in March 18th, close to our square footage. Also not remodeled, or older remodel. Looking at the pictures and whatnot. This isn't a bad one to comp off of. Let me zoom into this area. Nisbet looked like a little bit different of an area. So, Nisbet right there, which is one block north of us. Funky lots. Okay. Looks like they're corner lots. Alright, I would probably use this one as a solid comp. Let's take a look at the rest of the comps here. 489 is probably about 100 square foot bigger than us. Let's look at this 422 comp. Alright, this one's interesting. 1900 square foot, 400 square foot bigger. Again, also not remodeled. Older. I mean, if they're getting 420, this is giving me some good information because they're not even remodeled properties here. It's telling me if they would have remodeled these, it'd probably be worth a little bit more. This one is 400 square foot more. So let's do some math here. Let's go across the street real quick. Let's go. This one sold 550. Again, not remodeled. Oh, it looks like this kitchen's remodeled, but it's not. It's just painted the cabinets. Old cabinets. But it is bigger than us. You could also set different search filters so you don't see these big ones, but I like seeing the big ones because sometimes I am working on comps to if we added square footage to see what our max value would be. Across the street sold a week ago, 535,000. Again, not even remodeled, no pool. No pool. The lot size looks like it may be bigger. Let's see what size of the lot we have here. The lot size is going to be it's around a third of an acre here. Interesting. 535, not remodeled. That's good. So I'm in between 489 and this 535 comp. I'm gonna stick closer to this one because this is more in tune of what we're working with. So I'm going to pull this back up. I'm going to search up 3216 East Hillary. Notice though I'm not going outside of those comps. We'll go back to their deal packet and see if they looked at the ones that I'm looking at. They have one on 3302 East Nisbet Road that they're using as a comp that sold for 675. 675,000, and that's sold October last year. They're outside of my range. Let's look at it though. Let's go. What was that address here? Let's pull up their comp. Their comp is 3302 East Nisbet. So this is our remodel. Sold October of last year, which, to be quite honest, wasn't the best period of time. This is probably going to be a solid comp. Let's see lot size on this one. 9,000 square foot. Let's take a look at the pictures here. Pool, new flooring, new paint, new vanities, new fixtures, new shower. Let's look at the shower. Shower tile, shower glass, new fans. Use jumbo slab tile. Vanities. Looks like they staged the place, which is really highly recommended. Let's see how far this one is. So 3302. 302. Let's see what comparison is. Corner lot. Okay. So let's do this. I got a little thing put up here. 3216 East Hillary. We have a $489,000 comp as our median, non-remodeled. We have a $675,000. Let's see how big that's. That's supposed to 1886, about 300 square foot bigger. We have a price per square foot at $358 a square foot. If you see here. So 358. Let's pull up our 3216 East Hillary. Get an accurate square footage on that. 1645. So let's put that in 1645 square foot. And if we pull up 3302 East Nisbet, we can go for our ceiling max. Let's say 675, 1886 square foot. At 371 square foot is what we sold for. 358 a square foot is what we sold for. 358 a square foot. Put this in our notes. So we're at 358 per square foot. If we do the math between that, 358 at 1645 square foot gives us a 588,000 remodeled. So, and our 489 one was our other one. This one, 1688 square foot was this other one. Also on this bit, which is one block north. Sold, not remodeled. I don't think this one had a pool. This one doesn't look like it had a pool yet. That could be a factoration there. So 489. That sold at a price per square foot. 290 a square foot. So we're between 290. 290 square foot. You could create a median if we want here, or a safe number. 290 plus 358. Sometimes this is fun to do. So low end, so 1645 times by 290. 477. 477,000. Livable. Like remodeled, but not remodeled, but our math is right, we should be between 477 and 588, maybe 600,000. So I'd say 450 to 600,000 is what this is for. Our pickup price is 349. So that's already telling me that there's some pretty good spread in there from 477 to 349 based off of last time. So let me shut this door. All right, so back at it. All right, so we have a few different comps. I want to look just one more time at the comps. Comps are really important, so we want to know. We got another one that sold for 422. I always run comps based off worst case scenario. I also want to show you some other stuff too. Um, Looking at these, like again, this one was another one that was close to us. It's a couple hundred square foot bigger, 422. Uh, Sold May of this year, just what, a month and a half ago. Um, Something kind of weird. It never was even listed for sale. It was just sold. So keep this in consideration. This probably could have sold for much more, but it could have been like something behind the scenes, off market sale, maybe another investor. So I don't even want to use this as a comp. I actually like seeing this at 422 because normally you'd see something like this listed for sale, pending sale. This one just went sold. Sold in July, and just sold randomly in May. So it's just been a random number that someone gave him a deal, get him out of it, and I'm probably going to be seeing this one from the market based off my experience. Some other investor probably picked this up, or someone that's holding the property that's going to use it as a rental or whatnot. So I'm going to rule that one off as a scare for me because 422. If I spend any money on a remodel at 349, there's not enough spread there. This one I'm not going to look at. It's 930 square foot. It's not worth looking at. These ones I'm not even going to want to play with. There was one in here, I think this 535 one was a good comp, but it's across the street. I don't want to touch too much across the street. It's on a bigger parcel. This one looked like it has raw potential. I will look at what happened though. So this one was listed for sale for 11. Um, Sold pretty quick. Price changed it a month later and sold. Looks like 60 grand less. They changed the price. They probably listed too high. Sold pretty quick. I like it. 535, not being remodeled. We're picking up a 349. I like seeing stuff like this. That's a $200,000 difference on a non-remodeled house. Granted, the area might be different in this area, so I want to look at one more thing. I want to look at the data on that comp that ARM is sent over. The one that sold in October, which knowing the market wasn't as hot in October, which is a really good thing that this thing sold for 675. But let's see how long this one was on the market for and when it started for. If we look here, it was listed for sale in August of last year, so it sold pretty quick. Listed for 699. Month and a half went by. They went pending and sold for $15,000 less than the price adjustments they did in August. Notice how they listed at $699 right off the bat. They didn't get the traction right away, so they changed the price 10 grand a week later. Likely because your first day of listing is really important. Um, to be jumped back up to the top of people's search criteria. So it's probably going to move by them to lower the price pretty quick instead of waiting. So this moved pretty fast. I mean, it was, see how long it took them to remodel too. This property was picked up, so I can remember, let's look at the data here, November, this is July. It was sold for 650. This is probably a long-term purchase. Let's see when it was actually modeled. This is probably when it was remodeled. somewhere in this time period it was remodeled, sold as an investment. There's some interesting stuff going on here. But I won't dive too deep into it. Um, there's probably some other stuff going on with this property, but like what I'm seeing here, 675. Let's go start working on the math now that we have this data here. So I'm going to show you how to run some of this data, factoring in hard money costs, construction costs, stuff like that. Um, and so the way I'm going to do everything is I'm the type of person that's going to run things on a higher note with my remodel, with my time of carrying costs, my time of sale costs, and my time of my fees on everything. So I'm going to run all the math on a high note because if anything goes ahead of plan, it's only going to be a positive for us. But if we run everything in a worst case scenario and we're still showing that we're supposed to make an X amount of dollars, that's what I consider a deal. Because all we got to do is make sure if we're figuring worst case scenario and we're still going to make money, who's going to say no to that? You know. So if we do things right and do our job the correct way and follow what we actually just researched here, um, anything past the worst case scenario is just a bonus for us. But I'm going to run and keep my thoughts on a low end. So first things first, a lot of people are going to struggle with is the construction costs. Now this property, in order to get it up to our comp is looks like kitchen flooring, probably looks like windows. Um, we got lots of stains here, fixtures. Let's take a look at bathrooms done, vanities done. Again, all the fixtures, baseboards, got the pool remodeled, etc. So exterior paint, interior paint, garage door. It's painted. Let's take a look at the pictures that we have from our list. Um, this is what we have here. So we have 3 beds, 2 baths. Now it's better to actually go walk the property, see if there's any walls that need to be opened up. Looks like the AC is newer. I kind of come up with a figure to do. Let's see if I can zoom in on this. Pictures are not doing this justice. I want to see if the windows are older. It's like a navy vinyl windows, dual sided. Got a carport. Notice our comp has a 2-car garage. Garages on a appraisal don't make up that much. They're not calling for the same price per square footage. Now, it's a feature someone might want 2-car garage. So we might have an X factor on, hey, one has a garage, one doesn't have a garage. Um, these areas, I know these areas are pretty well. Obviously, the garage is a benefit, but you're still not ruling yourself out that this could be a winning property. Possibly close in that carport. Probably don't want to do any addition changes or try to add a 2-car garage just based off the way that this property is laid out. So I'm going to run my data a few different ways. I'm going to run it just remodeling it the way it is, taking a look at the pictures of what we have. Um, it's hard to tell with contingencies. Hey, does it need a new roof, new AC? What's the landscaping like? How was Nisbet's landscaping? Looks like just a rock landscape over here in Nisbet. Got a pool decking, it's in good shape. Let's see if they have any other pictures of the yard. They don't on that one. Looks like probably just a generic rock layout in the background too. They did all the details, so let's price this thing with all the details here. So here we go here. There's a rule of thumb that I've used, so including your kitchen, bathrooms, so flooring, baseboards, paint, miscellaneous drywall repairs, all your fixtures. That includes faucets, mirrors, vanity lights, towel bar kits, door handles, stuff like that. Rule of thumb, you could price on a like $300,000 to $500,000 home. A lot of these other remodelers, they're probably having a budget just for your basic remodel stuff anywhere between $35 and $50 per square foot. When you get into the higher tier homes that you're using higher grade items and stuff like that, they're going to jump it up to $75, $100 a square foot on what they're budgeting on a remodel to hit a certain price criteria. You're going to see this type of property, this $350,000 property, probably in the 40. I'd say a safe number is $40, maybe $45 per square foot. That's not going to include any like wall removals. That's not going to include roof, AC, um, a pool, landscaping, stuff like that. So these numbers are based on just raw. Hey, I'm doing the floors, doing the baseboards, doing the kitchen, I'm doing the showers, I'm doing everything inside the home to bring it up to a modern standard using decent grade items that would look like Nisbet's items. So they looking at them, they probably were at a $40, $45 per square foot interior remodel based off the pictures and everything I'm seeing here, the flooring, the tile. That price, the $35 to $50 per square foot included doing like miscellaneous small plumbing stuff, doing the showers, etc. like that. So let's run the math based off of that. Let's just say safe numbers. Like I said, there's no practice. Worst case scenario, 40. Let's say $45 a square foot to do the generic remodel. So $45 a square foot at 1645 square foot is what we're working with. It gives us a estimated rehab budget of 74,000. Rehab budget 74,000 on stuff like interior and exterior paint, stuff like that includes. Now I know that on this one we have a carport that we can add in there. Um, I will point something out. This likely you'd want to train it to drywall, so let's add that in there. Drywalling this lid. This looks like downstairs. Um, we got popcorn ceiling removal. That's also included in that $35 to $45 a square foot. Generic drywall texturing, stuff like that, drywall holes. But this is be extended because this is a good patch where we're probably gonna have to drywall all this under there. And we got a pool. I did not factor the pool. Looks like they're sending a picture of the AC. Looks like it's a newer one. I'll probably stay away from replacing the AC here. If it runs, it runs. Let it sell with what it has. Um, Pool needs to be resurfaced here. I can tell you right now, this is a big diving pool. Uh, Probably needs new tile and probably equipment. I can barely see. Some of these things are going to be X factors if we want to go take a look at to see if they're going to change any of our numbers. But uh, being a contractor and I've done many pools and we build pools, this is a pretty big pool. I would say to resurface this, I would probably put a budget in this, resurfacing this, putting new tile on there, and maybe there's some equipment issues. Looks like there needs to be a new pool light maybe. Would do maybe 15 grand. Just looking off baseline experience, maybe less, maybe more. I'm pretty confident this will be 15 grand, maybe a little bit less. So I'm gonna put that in there as an additional budget. So let's call this the interior or standard rehab after the standard items. Alright, we have pool budget 15,000, and let's just say the drywall downstairs, based off experience, I'll probably say with texture and routing all the drywall, say pretty it's probably less than that, but again, I'm going worst case scenario here for what we did. I'd probably take some notes, check roof, check AC, check pool equipment. We will also put in here carport. We probably want to turn that into a single car garage. I can tell you that conversion's probably just say 10,000 with garage door stuff like that. Could be more, give it a little less, but I want to at least have it in there. So, um, and any notes that I might have, I want to put them in here. So let's do a tally of all of this. We have 74,000, 15,000 on pool budget, 3,000 on drywall, 10,000 on carport. This gives us $102,000 budget. Let's give ourselves a 15% contingency. Hey, we didn't see that coming. So let's give us a $15,000 contingency budget that we're going to ask the bank. So we're going to be like, okay, 15,000. So that puts us contingency. You never. I've done many houses, and there's always something weird that happens that we didn't account for, and then everyone's like, "Oh, well, why didn't you see it?" I'm like, you know how many items are in a home? It's unbelievable. So max rehab. Can we get it done for less? Yes, that's where if we can get anything done for less, that's more profit. So that's why again we want to set a target goal here. So working my way down the list, we have okay, our acquisition price is $349,000. Our rehab budget is $117,000. This is what we're going to ask the bank. So when we add these together, we have 466,000. 466,000 is total all in. Okay. So for home price, rehab. So let's look at it. We're all in for 466, and our comp is 488.9 non-remodeled. So you're telling me I'm gonna have a remodeled house. I even factored in the carport in there, drywall, redoing the pool. You know what we forgot, guys? We forgot a landscaping budget. Let's throw 7,500 in there for landscaping. Again, if we could get it done for cheaper, cool. If not, let's spend it all and make sure it's there. So I'll leave the contingency at 15 grand. So our rehab budget. These are stuff that we're gonna forget. Like I said, that's why we added that contingency in there, anyways. But I already found it before we're in there, so let's jump this up 125,000. Max rehab budget 110 on the inside. So we add this 125. It's 74,000. Now we're still remodel, landscape, everything, brand new showers, brand new bathrooms, brand new drywall, brand new paint, everything. We're 474, and our other comp that we're going off of is 489, not remodeled. And I don't believe I remember that one had a pool. We have a pool. We're in a pretty good spot here. We're cheaper than something that's not remodeled. I'm starting to like this deal already without even going into the numbers any further. Um, Now we have a 675,000 is our high end comp. I said that we're gonna get to 588,000. I say we probably list at 600,000 list price. So that's gonna tell me a spread. So it looks like what 126,000 gross profit. So 126,000 gross profit. If we spend all our rehab budgets. Ideally, we probably should be able to get this job done within the first budget of 110,000. That 15,000 contingency. Don't necessarily think we're gonna need, but it's there if we need to use it. That's another 15 grand. We could hypothetically think, but I'm already seeing $126,000 of potential profit here. Let's dive into the numbers now. Based off experience, smaller homes like these, this should be a we're going to factor in um, carrying time acquisition price. Let's just go to we're going to go to the bank. Let's just say most of the banks are going to be 11% interest right now. 11% interest, 1 point. They're going to be a 6-month term, 12-month term, depending on the lender. I have lenders, if you guys need, um, for every different circumstance. Most of them are going to want to see about 15% down. So let's look at when you're doing your liquidity, how much you would need to actually do this house here. So most lenders are going to cover the cost of rehab. They just want to see 15% of the home purchase and the rehab. So they want to see 15% of your total all-in price. So let's do the math there. So let's write this down. 50% down. Let's see. 474. It's going to be a 71,000. 71,000. They're also going to ask for 1 point. Sorry, we got it. 71,100 would be our total. Alright guys, sorry for the interruption. I had a call I had to take. So we are at 15% down payment is what they're going to want. They're also going to charge 1 point off the purchase price. 1 point means 1%. So the 1 point of looks like 349. 349,000. So it's $3,500 what they're going to charge to do the loan fee. I just say $2,000 in title fees. Use the right title people. It could be less, could be more if you use the wrong title people. So our anticipated cash to close will be something in this range. There might be some other little fees, but this is a safe, quick way to do things. So we have $71,100 plus $3,500 point fee plus $2,000 title fees. You need $76,000. I'm going to figure out our carrying cost. So our carrying cost, our next portion that we're going to want to figure out. So carrying cost on initially our monthly payments. We're going to do 71,000, 349,000 minus 71,100. This is what we're going to be initially carrying without spending any money out of our rehab budget. At 11% interest rate, we're at 277,900 is our carrying cost initially is going to be about $25.50 a month. I don't know if you guys could see my calculator that I have up, but the way I took that is I took the home price of $349,000. I subtracted our down payment of $71,100. I divided that total number since it's an interest-only loan. So I took $349 minus $71,100, divided that by 12 months, gave us a $2,550. Divided by 12 months at 11% interest rate, gave us $2,550 a month. I'm going to do the same math when we're at the total at the end. Say we use all the rehab budget. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to take our all-in price, $474,000. I'm going to minus the $71,100 that we put down already. That gives us a price of $402,900. I'm going to divide that by, actually I'm going to multiply that by 11% interest rate, which is $44,319. I'm I'm going to take 44,319. I'm going to divide that by 12 months. That's going to give us a max $3,700 a month carrying cost. And how I do this is I'm like, hey man, I'm all in from the very beginning, carrying $3,700 a month. That's gonna press me to, even though I'm not $3,700 a month, I'm gonna act like I'm paying $3,700 a month. Um, I'm gonna say this is a 2 month minimum remodel. Let's say it's a 3 month remodel, and a 2 months of 2 months of sell time. So you have a month of on the market and a month to close. So 5 months. I'm gonna take 3,700 and I'm gonna multiply that by 5 months, and that's gonna be how much we're paying to the bank just to do this project. The bank's gonna make 18,500 in carrying costs. So I'm gonna add that to our all-in price of 474,000. So we have all in. So I'm gonna add that 474,000. I'm at 492,500 with carrying. Now I have another way of doing this. Now when we actually sell the project, I have a few ways to do it. So um, now when you sell a property, you're gonna have a 3% buyer's agent fee, and typically most people have a 3% agent selling. I fortunately only pay 1%. So I factor everything 3% to the buyer's agent, 1% to my realtor that would do it. So you need realtors that will give you the same deal. I will also help you with that. And then you're going to have title fees one more time. So we do usually 4%. I'm going to calculate this at 5% and then add another $2,000 in title fees to give us our fees to sell the property. This is not including utilities, guys. Utilities, you can put a budget in there, but I'm not penny pinching. If I'm looking that fine into the details and that's going to be a difference, I probably shouldn't be doing the deal anyways. So let's take a look at this number. So say we sell it for 600,000. We're going to do 4% of 600,000 is $24,000 in agent fees. So $24,000 in agent fees plus $2,000 in more title fees. So it's 26,000. So we're gonna add that to our 492,500 plus 24,000 plus 2,000 gives us a grand total of 518,500. This is our out the door price on a 5 month time frame. Um, this is what we sold it for. This is what's gonna give us our net profit. So 600,000 minus 518,500 gives us an 81,500 net profit. 5 months to perform. So let's see what that is. We're at 518,500 is the cheapest thing we could sell this for to cover everything out the door. Our median price, we had a 489 non-remodeled. We are $28,000 over something that wasn't remodeled, without a pool, without landscaping, without anything. So I'm like, do I think I'd get more than 518? Yes. 675 is a little bit bigger than us. That's why I put a 588 to 600,000. So anything over 518 is our profit. So most investors on deals like this, they want to make at least 20 to 30 grand. And I already boosted some things high here. I know just knowing how many projects I've done, we're probably not going to spend this full 125,000 on rehab, and it's probably not going to take us 5 months to do it. So, but I want to plan for the worst. I had a 15,000 also contingency in here. We're looking at a close to maybe a six-figure spread, but this is a safe, conservative number of 81,500. I'm winding up in the green. I would be at 600,000 for a fully remodeled house with comps to support um, a sales of that price. So that's really important for a bank appraisal to see if this house would even appraise for it. So this is a quick tutorial. I have spreadsheets that make things a little bit quicker, that dive into the numbers a little bit deeper. Um, but for the most part, this looks like a solid deal. 5 months, I'm putting up $71,000 for a few months to make 81,000. I'm doubling up my money. Um, I like this deal. This is great for a newer investor. Pretty safe. Even if I sold it for 550, I'm still making 30 grand. Do I see it not hitting 550? No. Based off what I've seen from the other comps, 550 seems like a conservative number for this area. So um, let me know if you guys have any questions or anything. Leave a comment, and I will be able to address anything I potentially might have missed. I was getting a bunch of calls while I was making this video, so I probably did miss stuff.